Hey, look at that. We got a screen, baby. All the good times. Gotta love it. Sometimes you gotta test things out to make sure it all works properly, you know? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Allow. Yes, we're going to allow it. How dare you allow it? Look at that. Look at that. We got technology. Skip ahead to the live broadcast. Oh, I can definitely make that work. Hello. Hello, hello, baby, you and I can hear you sing. Testing. Testing the sound. Okay. Okay. All right. Sweet. Technology. Gotta love it. All right. We're going to test out this stream. Let's see. What options? Ninja Turtles are fun, but every once in a while you want to try something new. Let's see. Peter Parker. That's too easy. Repeat, repeat. Pete and repeat. We're in a pool. Pete fell in. All right. All right. Well, we now have live access over here on the wonderful world of YouTube. So welcome aboard, everybody. Got to turn that down just a little bit so that I can actually, hear you guys. Alrighty. So, I need a glove. An artist glove. No glove, no love. Alright. What did you say? Are you breaking up with me? Sorry, I did not hear you. I'm kind of busy. Kind of busy. Alrighty. We're gonna draw things on comic books. And it's gonna be awesome. Come hang out while I draw stuff on comics. Save. There we go. We should be good to go there. I love how I came in with like 3 things in mind and I purposely forgot the one thing I actually needed. Not purposely, not unintentionally. Baby tonight, yeah. The DJ's got us falling in love again. Alrighty. Test, test, test. How do I share this? That's my next question. I'm assuming I have to go through my phone. Alright. 4 minutes. Settings. Playback's normal. Good, 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 good. Alright, and let's see. Google security alerts. Yeah. Alright, YouTube. My channel. My channel is currently live. Close. Okay, cool. Like. There is no share button. That's mildly annoying. Alright, well, lighting is not an issue, thankfully. I would like to be able to share. Alright. Oh, wait, it's probably over here in stream settings, isn't it? Yep. Stream URL. Copy. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Unlist live replay once. Displays streams. Analytics. Stream health. Stream is strong. We are 6 minutes in. So far, so good. It's actually really good quality. I'm pleasantly surprised by that. Okay. In Fantasyland, my channel. Hello, hello, baby, oh, I can hear you sing. I ain't got no service in the club, it said. What did you say, are you breaking up with me? What did you say, are you breaking up with me? Sorry, I cannot hear you, I'm kinda busy. All right. Welcome to the silence. It's our favorite thing ever. All right. Gotta love having a delay. Okay. Here we go for real. So much repetition. Okay, what is repeating itself? Do I just have 3 lives open? That would explain it. Testing. Alright, and start recording. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Please let me know if you are in the chat. And, you can hear any kind of additional repetition. Please let me know, because, there's only so much I can do on this side without actually, having a sound bar in. So, I felt like drawing some stuff today. Alright, so I figure we're going to do a couple of Deadpool pieces. Because, why not? Hello, hello, baby, and I can hear you sing. Alrighty, and the Lord said, should we put proper lighting on as well? Oh my goodness. We're being punished. Here we are. Let's see. Ooh, this is nice and clean. It's a little thing, but just adding that little bit of extra oomph to certain covers, Let's see. So occasionally I have wonderfully terrible ideas, and they work rather well. So let's go ahead and make at least one of those a reality. Let us see. We can open it up on our phone. That way we can see the actual chat. Is this phone actually moving again? Skip to the live. Can we skip to the good part? Alright, the camera's on. Got a little bit of a resolution issue. It's not too much of an issue though. Alright. Testing the time response delay. So it's about 20-30 seconds. It's not too bad. It's not great, but what are you going to do? Alrighty. And pencil. Proper pencil. Here we go. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in. If you're in. Because otherwise, I don't know if anybody's here. Because right now, I think it's just showing me. But what are you going to do? Let's see. And then we got some traps. Some big old hands. It's not bad. It's not great. It's a little grainy. I wonder. I wonder. Let's conduct a social experiment, shall we? So odd. Anyways. Well, let's go ahead and do this again. Why not? We'll see what happens. If I disconnect from the Wi-Fi. Josh is live. Close. Alright. That quality is not that great. I wonder what's going on there. Settings, settings, settings. Has my camera decided to default and change itself? Thus is a first. I will take your word for it. It looks like we got about a 30-second or so delay. Configure video. Brightness. Yeah, it looks like this thing reset itself. Gotta love it. Focus. Apply. Video. To. Apply. What is white balance? What does that do? Screw it. Let's see what happens. Apply. Say okay. Say okay. Alright. Yeah, I figured we'd try something new. You know, just purely for the sense of aesthetics and things. And it's very interesting to me because, like, this was working just fine a second ago. I had literally no issues as far as that's concerned. But apparently, you'll have to tell me if it's any different on your side. It's a little grainy on my end right now, looking at it on my phone. So, on the computer, it's nice and clean and crisp and everything's working out pretty fine, but what I see over here is incredibly pixelated. So, I'm not sure what's up with that. And there's about a 30-second to a minute delay. So, but it's one of those things where it's like, yet again, if I can record while being live, I'm not going to have any issues. But for some reason, just everything seems to be like, how dare you try to go live lately. So I'm just kind of smiling and nodding and being like, well, here we are, you know. Alright, so yet again, I've got some quality here. Let's figure out what's going on with the streams. Auto stop, no, not a fan of that. Settings, video's coming in fine on my end. Configure video. Let's bring that exposure back up to a -7. Say apply, say okay. I'll send you a screenshot. Yeah, if it's coming in blurry, just that's really all I'm concerned about. Because on my phone, it is coming in incredibly pixelated. So that's my only real concern, considering, you know, the joys of technology, right? Survey says. Looks good on my TV. I'll send you a screenshot. It looks like on my phone. Watch. This will be one of those weird, like, little 16:9 ratio things where it's like, well, it's technically perfect, but it's not, right? Okay, round 4. Let's see. I really want hands in this one. You gonna catch these hands. What you gonna do with all that junk inside that trunk? Alright, it would would probably help if I actually opened the chat on my phone so I can see it. Not blurry on yours. Fantastic. Well, that's all that matters. Then let's get back to drawing instead of obsessing about quality. Alrighty, here we go. So this will actually be very interesting to edit later because I've got like 7 to 10 minutes of footage that I've got to just cut out. It's like, it could be worse. First world problems. Try what streaming in near silence is like, so that we don't get any DMCA nonsense. It's interesting. So yeah, I spent another hour and a half between videos and everything else trying to get the Whatnot stream to work again, and same problem. Absolute same problems. I reset completely, I reinstalled everything, and it's just like, you guys aren't making this easy for me, and like I really just don't want. It's just more and more just making it so I don't want to be on that platform, and it's just like, if you could just make technology that works properly, that would be fantastic. So, but I need to start trying to find a balance of where and how I do streaming. So, all right, just because if I have another situation like with Meta where suddenly it was completely gone, you know, at the drop of the hat suddenly. And if you guys are over on another platform and it's just letting play the link, I am not checking other platforms right now. I'm only on YouTube as far as responding to comments. Yeah. Yeah, and it's very frustrating because it's very PC-driven nonsense. Like, it's like, and by PC-driven, I mean the opposite, actually. It's very, oh, I have an iPad, so it works fine for iPad. And I'm like, yeah, it's not that doesn't help anybody who's trying, well, I use a PC. Really? Because here, look, I did everything here that you said to do, and it didn't work! What are you going to do, right? Oh, what are you going to do? It's not worth the time and energy after a certain point. I keep flashing back to the first time I hung out with the people who were selling my art book. And they were like, oh yeah, it's real easy, look. And then I handed them my phone, my Samsung. And they're like, oh wow, none of those features are here. And I'm like, and that right there should tell you, like, any kind of exclusionary behavior like that is, I have issues with. Oh, well, sorry, you're not worth it if you're not part of this system. How dare you? To Discord, since you shared it on Facebook. I also tested on Discord as well a few minutes ago. Like, I tested on Discord and I tested over here roughly about the same time. And Discord, that's why that new system's unlocked over there in that new channel. So versus it was in private mode. It's like, well, it seemed to work okay. Sound came in fine and everything else, so. But I still kind of want to make it so that's like more of a mod squad thing, or later on transition it so like, look, sketch request is only through this platform kind of deal. Like, you have to be over here, and then, you know, I can share. That way I can work on certain things and record the footage for later once it's launched and things like that. Like, those, it may not seem like much, but it's enough to make things life easier. I also shared a Discord on the Facebook. Yeah, I'm not sure what YouTube's policies are about discussing other platforms, but hopefully it's pretty chill, because it's like, look, we all have to work together in tandem, right? Let's see. Circles and beacons. All of the teeth, all of the tongue. Over the lips, over the tongue. Watch out. Danger, for here it comes. All right, we got pouches. Starting incredibly loose. But I wanted to play with this just a little bit. I want to have some more little options here and there, and while I'm working on projects for other people, I want to be able to be like, yo, okay, well, here's the daily sketch, or here's the, you know, here's the new thing. Like, especially if I do actually do a Whatnot sale on you know, Sunday. I don't think I'll be able to do it through OBS as much as I would love to. I just don't think it's going to happen. So we'll figure it out. That's why we have the stupid straight talk iPhone anyways, so that we can do stuff in their little app and program. Bum bum bum. Sweet Caroline. Wah, wah, wah. That's the problem when I don't have music. So I put a thing up day before yesterday, so it's technically there, but I haven't quite confirmed it because it's one of those weird. So like in full transparency, I gotta pay for medals and things. So, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so how do I do this? Because I'm not gonna be like getting the medals, so I can't do a pre-order on that. And it's like, do I put some art up or what? I'll figure it out. I may call it a wash. I was really just hoping that it would work properly for the thing, you know. Like I figure this way I can be like, here socials, and you know, you use the Canon Clash stuff because I'll be on Sir Superhero's Canon Clash. For anybody who's watching this later, I will be on Canon Clash tomorrow with Sir Superhero on YouTube and of course, you know, Twitch prior to that. So I'll be on that. We'll get to play a little bit of, is this character real or not? You know, it's just that right level of gaslighting. You're like, there's no way that the Dole Whip is a character. You're right, it's not. But Dole, the superhero character, very much is. So, let's see. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I could knock out a couple of quick headshots and things. And be like, look, here's hands. Catch these hands. Yeah. That way we got some extra content for the people who are like, well, he's not updating every single day. I'm like, no, I'm not, because I had to take a mental health break while working on other things offline. But it would be nice if I was able to like come over here on YouTube and other things and just be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I am drawing. That would be good, because I could throw up like Navigator and stuff like that and have that. Do the doodlings. Alright, and I think it's like that right amount of how much of this are we going to show, you know? More options is good. Very true, especially if it's one of those everything shifts back and forth depending on who owns what, right? I don't think Google's going to be getting rid of YouTube anytime soon, frankly speaking. I'm kinda busy, kinda busy. Sorry, I cannot hear you, I'm kinda busy. Oh, I can't do that. I gotta work on that. I'm gonna have to like find some more DMCA free music or something to put on in the background, or put my headphones in. Because it's like, I want this to be able to be something that I can throw on here, but at the same time, it's like, not have to worry about, oh, put the extra background noise or anything. So if there's no engagement, and that's not on you, you're at work, so don't worry about that. But it's more of a, just trying to figure stuff out. With each platform, respectively. Hello, Mr. 3. Yeah, Schnee and President Schnee. Alright. Alrighty. I didn't realize how, like, off camera this was. Let's see. Can we move that just a little bit? That's slightly better. There we go. Say what's up, danger. Yes, work is supposedly that thing that I don't do, at least according to some people. I've been trying to really bite my tongue lately because there's a lot of those purposeful engagement posts that people have been making lately as far as art's concerned, and I'm just like, nope, We're not falling for that. No, sir. I'm not gonna get involved on that one. That's not my job. My job is to draw. And then be a salesperson. Like, what do you do? I draw stuff. Is that all you do? No, I do so much more. It's exhausting. I don't know any better. Yeah, yep. This is very true. All right. I need headphones because I need some sort of distractive whatever. So give me half a second to engage the clicky clickies. That was all said. Connect the technology. Oh, there it is. Connected. Right then. Hello, hello, baby. I probably should try to turn on that other place as well. That other place that I'm normally pretty active, but I think we'll do that. We'll do that after I get this one done, and then I will just connect the other device accordingly. Right then, I need somebody thinks that Baltimore's a fun town. That's cute. That's hilarious. There we go. Die by. Day one. I don't need no medication. If only I had a device that I could literally move over so that I could see your chats. Baltimore's fun, that's a first. Isn't it though? If only I had a Wacom tablet that I could literally just move the chat over and see it. It's like, that's so much easier. ADHD. Yeah, we'll figure out the DMCA music and everything else. The royalty-free stuff. That way it's not just me trying to fill a void with empty commentary. Day one. I feel like I'm dying inside. Being crazy. Name me. Yeah, we figured it out. Let's see how this works, right? HD. So OBS has an integration system that links in with this particular app, and it's pretty cool because it actually shows me the chat there much more active. By the way, if any of you guys are watching over on Meta or anything like that and commenting, I cannot see those comments because I do not have anything logged in over there. So feel free to come on over and hang out. I guarantee you it's much more entertaining than whatever, drop link they have going down over there. So, day one, I don't need no medication. I feel like I'm. Do I seem crazy? It's my ADHD. Kinda feels like I'm dying on the inside. Baltimore is fun. That's kind of... Whoa. I'm a villain. The link takes you here. Awesome. Good to know. Occasionally, some people are using like the box apps and stuff like that, so it'll be like, oh yeah, and just automatically will start playing over there. So... I don't know, I just draw things. Whoa. I'm a villain. Cause I'm a villain. God, how long has it been since I live streamed? Do you remember? That's kind of what I figured. I'd start with like avoid instead. You know, like start with something a little low key, and then move over to the other one, and then that way tomorrow, if I'm getting stemmed from social media, etc. funds, then I'll be prepped. You know. Heck. Yeah, the difference in drawing this way versus on a computer is just amazing. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like oh, it's so much easier. It's like, it really isn't. It's much more exhausting. And I think it has something to do with the actual computer screens, like staring into it. But it's like, I used to have like the exhaustion glasses and stuff, and never really had that issue, right? But it's like, I don't know what it is now, but it's like, it's something simple as a mini, for example, should only take me like maximum like an hour, right? Maybe 2 hours if I'm doing like full rendered colors, right? That's a good idea. Yeah. But it's like on a computer, like it's no joke. Like those turtles took me like 2 days just to like full, almost like 8-hour days just to get acceptable for me. I was like, it's not even like Memphis is advertising itself as like a creators expo and things like that, and there's some pros and cons with that, because a lot of people are going to come in like myself with originals, and I've got like 2 people that are like, yo, commissions. Yeah, and I'm like, sweet, that's 2, and one of them I can get done before the show. But then, of course, my brain kicks in and goes, oh, but what about the commissions from these guys? And yada, 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 yada. So it's a never-ending cycle. Overthink. Never forgetting, because I'm a villain. On a computer as much as before. Yeah, that's probably it, too. You probably got a good point there. Fight, fight, fight. Thinking of what other guy I want to get in the commission near future. I gotta figure out some way to like use it and not use it for the waitlist thing. Like maybe I need to add another thing, because like there are some people that just are not utilizing that thing the way it should be being used. Like one guy, he's gonna be getting a piece later, so that's like not even an issue. But it's one of those things where it's like the people who are filling it out, they're not filling it out correctly. They're just like, oh well, we talked about this. I'm like, that's cool, but you need to fill out the form. Because otherwise, it's like, well, then you lose, and you got to break your own rules, and it's a whole thing. On your back. Dun 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 dee dun 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 dee. Hollywood can't get to me, man. You know, it's weird. I'm officially kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, really. It's one of those things where it's like there's certain music that I was listening to like nonstop during all of that stuff last year, and all I can do is like visualize those people while they were going through whatever they were going through, and now it's like, okay, they're past all of it, and my brain's like, all right, well, do I need to be past it as well? Simultaneously, it's like also like, okay, well, I guess we done here. Because it's like I don't really like them as a human being anymore, like what I've seen online and things. So it's like, ugh. So it's like I was there for the music, and I'm not there for the human. So I'm trying to explore different options these days. Put in the form as an example. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I'll figure it out. No, that's not on you. I mean, you didn't have to go and do that just right now. I'm just saying it's one of those things where it's like, I don't get it. Like, what's hard about this, right? You would think it wouldn't be hard, but apparently, humans. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? When the night goes. Now we figure out where the heck we dropped the magic pencil that we were using. Don't like following directions, right? They're like, oh, well, it makes me special. Uh-oh, man down. Well, from what I tested, oh, there's about 3 more things to fall. Hang on. Ooh, let's not have that. We don't need a stack of pens and things falling over. Okay, I had... Where is it? There it is. I was sitting there going, I was like, I had a whole thing that was set up for just when I needed to do, like, portable display. There we go. Beautiful. Ugh, it's the little things. People don't like to follow instructions. There we go. So much safer. Okay. Not your friend. Sing along. Sing along. Sing along. Along. Sing along. Bum 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 bum. So those motion lines, they're dangerous. Probably gonna change up this hand. Because then I can stop this chest right about here. Make it be bigger. Let's go. Grim! What's going on? Mod Squad in the house. We're testing out a new system. Sorry. The YouTube I was listening back, I had it minimized, but it was one of those things where it was like, oh, this is working great. And I was like, is it though? I was listening to the echo chamber. I was like, oh, look at that. All right, cool. All right, and I want to double check what our design work is. Because I think I always do this. I always try to go like super fancy and put like the 90s portal circle. And I was like, why am I sitting here always trying to put like this giant circle nonsense in the middle of this if I don't have to, you know? I can literally just straight up strap and roll, you know? Like, look at this. Whoa! Science! That is so much cleaner of a design work to work with versus what I was trying to do. It's like, just freaking, you know, do the thing. There we go. I don't know. Can he draw a sword? It's unlikely. It's a nice arsenal. Do. Lights go on. Grim. So I'll put a YouTube and I was like, what? Circle portal hoo-ha. I just see the game Portal. That's fair. And that's kind of where I was like, you know what? The circle thing worked in the 90s for like character design, but it's like, it's not really needed for this version. It's like, I can always add or change little tweaks here and there to the design of the character, but it's like, if I don't have to work that hard, why should I either, you know? You know, I can just kind of have some fun with it. But I figured I'd start here, and then I'm going to try to hook up that white thing over to the clocky place after this and see what's up. And see if I can do both at the same time, or because I'm officially running on dual networks again, running on different frequencies and testing out the microphone location where it's at right now, along with the drop circle. Yeah, he did have a portal belt. For a while, he had this like big circle like right here, and then a bunch of artists all pretty much were like, "Dude, why are you forcing us to draw a portal right there?" And I'm like all the time, like, ugh. So it is what it is. But it's just one of those things where it's like just those little elements of stuff that do that. So I figure, test out the recording, test out here with OBS, get a bajillion devices, stream everything at once. See, that's the thing is, I don't know how to describe it. You probably, with running in tech, you both probably have this problem. Do you guys hear when people turn on televisions or like certain types of technology? Like, can you hear that high pitched hum that comes on, like the thing? Lights go on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. And that's kind of where it's going to be, is like there would literally be like 3 or 4 devices like right here that would all be humming in one ear. Make up time in your ocean eyes. That's why I don't do it that often. Like I'm like worn out by the very end of it. Like, yeah, with keyboards and stuff, yeah. Phone and the X-ray generators. Yeah, and that's one of those things where even like music, it has to be like a certain kind of music. And obviously, if I'm over here, or if I go to the blue space and try to like dual stream here and the blue space, you know, kind of stuff, then I can't actually do that. Which, it's a whole other monster. You're like, are you kidding me? But it's like, yeah, here we are. So. But yeah, that's one of the problems I have with streaming. So it's like, what are you gonna do? So it's like, I'm just trying to plan ahead, because I think I mentioned it to you guys during the last couple of streams we did elsewhere. I got like the ability to get my videos and stuff monetized was like all gone. They reformatted the system on the blue space for that and its Insta counterpart, and then almost simultaneously like TikTok like reduced the amounts of like push out, and so it was just like, and then I finally got paid for like 1 month. Like it was technically like 2-month interval, but they paid me for like 1 month, and it was like, well, this is crap. I mean, you know, aside from it's like I wasn't demonetized, but it was one of those like they stopped the ability to be monetized in the same capacity. Because I don't know. So it's very interesting when you compare to like other artists that are on platforms similar to this and like how their systems are running, and you're just like, what's up? But you know, comparison's odious. But like I said before you came into chat, Graham, I've been just kind of taking this little mental break because there's been a lot of little random things that can set me off for no reason on a rant, and I'm just like, I can be better. I can be a better human being. But I figure what I'll do is I will do this, and then I will open up the other one as well. Like I'll get the bare minimum, get these line works sorted so that I can test the quality of the video that just recorded. And go from there, you know? We'll see what's happening. So I say we riot. Well, it's not even a riot thing, but it's definitely one of those things where it's like, if it's not turning out the things that it should be turning out, like it sounds incredibly selfish to say, look, but reality, it's like, look, if I'm not making the money, I'm not making the videos. Like, I'm not going to sit there and upload every single day to Instagram and like, here's a reel, here's a this, if you're not going to be putting out the, you know, I'm not going to do it here either, because the numbers for here is ludicrous. Like, I'm going to start trying to upload all that old content over here as well, just so it's like pops up in SEOs and things like that. But good God, like the difference is just like insane in the membrane. Like the numbers they want to get ad revenue and things like that for here. I want to say it's something like, I wish I was exaggerating. I think it's like 8 million. Like just for the shorts, like you need 8 million views between all your shorts to be monetized on shorts alone. And then video content is like 500,000 or something like that. Yeah. The quid pro is imbalance. Yeah, quid pro quo is imbalance. What's the point? And that's kind of where it's at, where it's like they want you to force you to do this. And I just had to take a step back and be like, look, okay, well, while we're all trying to sort out this wonderful Wizard of Oz life that we're living while everyone's on protests and things like that, like, how do I, create stuff like this without, crossing those metaphorical lines? Because I'm not part of those systems and I won't ever be part of those systems. But some people could argue if I'm drawing a character that's represented by one of those companies, then that's a whole other, like Venompool is technically part of the Marvel Universe, but he's also part of Contest of Champions and their distributors and so on and so forth. So it's a whole thing. So, anywho, look, art. I haven't live streamed in so long, and it just feels so much better to be able to drop like lines confidently versus going undo, undo. Digital, I am, and I just agreed to do a project digitally. It's the worst part. They were like, I don't think anyone's gonna buy originals for this one. I was like, okay, cool. And it's like, it will make it easier on some levels, but it is going to make it much more of a challenge on others. So, but. That's why it hates you. Yeah, Control Z. Yeah. One of my favorite comics was by a Rareware concept storyboarder designer guy. He did this story. He started it, and the comic's called Sequential Art, but it's just like a cartoon variation of him and some characters he's done, and it's kind of a cartoon meets anime feel. All right, the very first one he ever did, he's like, here's a pen, and in his brain he's like Control Z, and then he's like, ah shit, and then it becomes like a running gag every like 250 videos or so. So I enjoyed it quite a bit. Alrighty. I haven't checked it in a couple of months now because, life. 2 to 3 months, honestly. Getting word down from all the undo. Yeah. I had a Surface blow up on me. Like, the battery pack literally inflated itself just one day. I came in and I was like, what happened? Like, I went to bed, everything was fine, and I came back and they're like, oh yeah, this apparently just happens. That was... You guys were probably along for that ride when that happened. I was like, oh, thank God I had any kind of, like, spare capital at that time. Because it was bad. Or the ears to hear. Yeah, that was just insane. In the membrane. What? Okay, let us see. Right at the start of the vid. Bummer. Good old battery puffs. Yeah, right? It just randomly happens. No! That's what that should be the actual response everyone should have. No, it shouldn't happen. You know why? Because that didn't happen back in the day, right? Back in the day when I was an old man, that never happened. We never had these problems where things just decided to not work properly. But can he draw a hand? Rawr. Rawr.
Okay, Baka, here we go. Ooh, ooh.
Run. Clickety clack. Gotta test that ASMR. See how far that directional microphone picks things up after all, right? And the Lord said, "Bracket."
The next telephone out the window.
Yep. Supposedly, I've been seeing more and more of this branding. They're like, the next generation, Gen Z, is migrating this. And I'm like, bull crap. I call shenanigans. Like, don't get me wrong. Some probably are purely on a financial component. But at the same time, like, it still needs to be able... It might be a flip phone, but it is still got like a, you know, a generalized chat option. Or they're using voice to text with the smartwatch to incorporate with it. Better than Todd McFarlane or Rob Liefeld. You know, it's funny. I could just do the backwards hand, right? But that would be incredibly offensive at this point in the world. But no, jokes aside, the next piece I want to work on tonight is probably... It's definitely going to have a Rob Liefeld joke in it. Let's just say I'm going to be utilizing this joke. So it's going to be great. My luck, I would draw it, put it up on... Somebody would be like, that's not a real foot. That's not how you draw feet. It's a fucked up foot. Pardon my language. That's okay, I marked this as not for kids. Maximum effort. Rawr.
You're just a silly Baka, Baka, Baka. Baka, Baka, Baka. Baka, Baka. Baka, Baka, Baka.
Rada, 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 rada. I'm looking for that. That's what I wanted. I was like, do I really want 10? Good God, look at this. This tip is mental. I don't think we need a 10 right there. I'm like, yeah, let me just draw these giant freaking... I think I bought this just as like an experiment to see what's like what would happen. I was like, let's see. And it's like, it's definitely a really good tip if I had to like draw minis, but I don't draw minis at shows anymore, so it's like, what's the freaking point? 5 count. There we are. Maximum. Man, that is one dead pen. No wonder it's on the floor. It's almost like I subconsciously threw it on the floor because it was not working properly. There we go. Maximum. Gosh, this is great. Sorry, my therapy. It's making me happy right now because it's like there's no giant camera in an angle or anything right now. Like it's just the very small, high res anchor. I got the mic in the right location. We got decent lighting in case the light goes out. It's a good angle. It's zoomed in just the right way. This is what I wanted to do over on Whatnot. Like I was like, yes, let's do this. Let's make it awesome. And then it was like, denied. Your lack of faith is why you fail. Like I was like, because if that, I could have actually done it to here as well as to Meta. That way I would have content in both locations as well. But What are you gonna do? If it doesn't work, nothing I can do. I refuse to buy another Apple product just so that I can use that system. It's like, no, absolutely not.
I do commissions. But can he draw a hand? Can you teach us?
So, there's this guy, and I'm very okay with like just saying it, and then if it ends up in perpetuity, there's this guy over on TikTok, who is his main job all day is like video editing and stuff like that, and in a level of transparency, he works on this book as an editor slash he does like the lettering and he does like the colors and things like that, and he's taken off in a level that's kind of insane on TikTok because he's yet again in that teaching thing. So he's teaching lettering and things like that. And he recently put out this video like a week and a half ago about how, you know, anybody can teach, and I think that's the best way to establish blah 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there. He makes a side comment about, well, you know, you don't want to be an artist that just throws music on to a time lapse of what you do. And it's like, Lydia ain't sitting there doing all the stuff. All the bakas. There are a bunch of bakas. Right. And that's where it's like Lydia is just drawing. Well, it doesn't have to be fancy or anything like this. And it's like, yeah, the video software that you're using, part of a suite, costs you $60 a month. So even if you aren't using Illustrator and everything else, you know, okay, there's $60 right there. You know, don't be pretending that something is, oh yeah, it's super affordable, etc. Like, these people, time and energy for creating artwork and things like that. Like, it got me on this whole, like, I was ready to go put some videos up and tag some people, and I was like, you know what, take a breath. It's okay. This dude's not impacting my life. You know, he's not impacting my humans. You know, nobody in my life is being detrimentally impacted by the words that he's saying. Just let it go. All right? And it's like, well, here we are. All right. And but man, I'll tell you, that got me for like 3 or 4 days while I was trying to work on the art and stuff. I'd go on a break and then just more of his videos would pop up, and I was like, let it go, Josh. Let it go. It's like, it's just some spilt milk. It's just somebody who purposely deals in editing and etc. and knows what sales trends move because that's his day job. And this is like a cakewalk he can do on his lunch break or in the middle of work without anybody realizing it, if he really needed to. You know? So, first world artist problems. Yes, all the backers. But that's kind of what stemmed that whole video for me. Woosah. Yeah, exactly. A few days regarding customer loyalty. What a customer saying, doing. Yeah, right? It's like, are they high? No. You just start repeating it in your head and going, mother, brada. Start just getting angry with yourself for being like, why is this bugging me so much? I'm like, it's just a framing situation. It's nothing to do with the actual person or what they do. He said this. No, I didn't. Never said that. Never said that in a million years. Oh, yes, you did. You calling me a liar? No, but I'm saying you're saying mistruths.
You're a filthy, filthy hobbitses.
They'd relax, they did. Right? Yeah, but that guy's at this point, that guy's videos are definitely being monetized on Viewpoint as well. So it's like the instructional level just has its own like sales appeal, especially from the wonderful world of TikTok's perspective. They're like, this guy's videos are engaging. We should, and informative. Don't recall if I had this conversation with you guys or if it was on another person's where I just tuned in and chatted. But there's a list of things when it comes to any kind of like social content and video structure, and one of them is like, is it inspirational? Is it informative? Is it blah 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 blah? And it's just like very exhausting to be like, look, I just want to show you some art. And if that inspires you, fantastic. But that is not the way that corporations will approach those particular videos. In my inception. Me. Might as well leave them. To the ground. Now. They'd relax. But it's like, that's where I had to remind myself, is like that person when they were like, oh, I can be an artist and put this. It's like the same other person that pulled that crap. In this case, it's somebody who can draw, but he doesn't draw. He does the editing and everything else related to the project. So it's like he's utilizing other skills, but at the same time, he's approaching it originally from, oh yeah, look, there's this implied information. Like, it's kind of like an inker who's like, yeah, I worked on this and I worked on this, and everyone's like, oh my god, they've worked on this, and it's like, yeah, but did you actually create any of that, or did somebody else do the work and then you helped finish it in order to expedite the production time? Right? Just levels of transparency. That's all I want. But yeah, if this I think YouTube allows me later to like cross share things in the live functions. Like, I think it has to be further down the road as far as like expectations and stuff. But if that is the case, it could be kind of fun to be like, all right, well, we have the YouTube content, which can be watched whenever, and then we have the lives. But because like this recording setup, it's locked at this point, so I can record this and then upload onto YouTube as well. And when I do that, YouTube of course has that function that goes, I can mark it as live. So like live debut, I think that happened like the very first time I set up this account. So we'll see what happens. And forever better with you. But I'm sorry you had to deal with that, guys. It sucks. It's never fun. It's never fun to deal with problematic human beings. So like I said, I tried out the Discord earlier and it seemed to work okay. So I might start like just doing some certain projects and things only through Discord. So like one of these comic projects, just be like, all right, well, I'm here if I need some body doubling, kind of deal. That way I'm not violating any NDAs and it's still like privatized. But again, I can use that stuff later for like putting here on YouTube and stuff. So that I think will work out okay. And then I just need to make sure I don't overdo it when it comes to going like TikTok live and stuff like that, you know? Don't end up in burnout mode. You have a marker addiction? Yeah, you might. I might have a you might. Yeah, no, I feel you. I guess related to that, I really should be refilling my Copic display thing, but I'm like, yeah, burnout's no fun. But the way I'm looking at it is, okay, well, the 23rd, which is like in 2 weeks, I'm gonna have to unpack all of these from the display case usage into my cases for travel for Memphis. So I'm like, so what's the point? Like literally my brain is like, so what's the point in taking it back out to put it back into that system, you know? Oh, Demi. Help me. The hoo-hoos, why not use it? Well, because the hoo-hoos kind of suck, dude. Like the colors, like that black, for example, like you know for a fact, but like these things are kind of crap. Like they're not bad for like a runner, but it's not like something if somebody's hiring me at a show to get the works, they're not paying for that. They're paying for me to use the Copics, which is like super frustrating. But like a lot of those colors are just off, like severely off. Like as far as like what they're supposed to be, and like I know this sounds like a cop out, but it's like there are certain things that just you get used to using one tool over another. Like yeah, it's extra bouncy and everything, but I'm just like, that's literally since I made the video, I've used those twice, and both pieces came out kind of mid. I was like, meh. I was like, not for me. But I am going to be starting to look into trying to use like watercolor again, because I found this really great super small watercolor travel container that's like super cheap. And it's like, it's not like low grade either, so it's like it doesn't end up chalky or anything. So I'm like, heck yeah. So I'm going to have to start trying to create some sort of variation of that with some acrylic highlights and things where like, these are my show cash sketches that are affordable or some silliness. There's like a level of affordability for creative services that needs to be like established, you know? No. Yeah. I mean, and that's fine. It's just one of those things like, you know, it might be the eye color too. So as odd as that sounds, like there's certain greens in there. They're muddier to me. Now, it could also be like the difference between my paper and your paper. Like the paper I use is like that archival stuff, so it's like extra bright in comparison to this. Like that is not it, but like even you can see the difference in colors on those. But let's see, where is my paper? Here we go. So like this is my paper, and this is like standard on average. So like this right here is super bright, super archival. So like colors come out exactly the way they're supposed to be. So it's like when I try the Ohuhu on here versus that, it's just like the difference is once they like dry out, they fractal more, and like there's just a little too much rubbing alcohol inside of them, and they don't blend as well as they should. Like they should be able to just blend seamlessly, and it's like big old swing and a miss. Yeah, 100 shades of white. Yep, very true. Thank you. That's sorry. That's funny. The song playing by Demi Lovato is like, "Thank you for your useless information." I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. Pardon frickin' me. I was trying to be informative. Good times, good times. We'll see how much of my humming gets flagged for like, how dare I, you know. And the end. My head. I like to use gouache myself when doing watercolor because it's acrylic paint and watercolor. You're absolutely right. It is. I have not attempted to use either in quite some time, and it's mostly because I've been spending all that time working with Copic and acrylic paint. So it just comes down to, it's like, look, if I'm carrying 200 to 300 markers versus like, okay, I'm just doing basic watercolor toning, like, as much as I love doing line work, people don't come to me for line work. You know, they're not like, oh my god, I love your lines, they're sick. Like, tattoo people respect it. Like, they're like, these are great. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I feel like you people are awesome. They're like, thank you. And, you know, good balance there, you know? Let's see. God damn, I just wanna be free. Love it. Team, I am your daughter. But yeah, if I go to a Comic-Con, most people aren't be like, yeah, I get line work. Like, if they get line work, typically it's a budget restraint, which is not bad. Like, I get it. Like, look, there's only so much we can do. So, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Alrighty. Ezelberry. That's a word. The Ezelberries taste like Ezelberries. I've never even had an Ezelberry. I was told I need to draw clowns. To which, of course, there was a resounding defiance from my end. As there always is.
I'm Buggy.
Never referred to as a berry. Oh, good times. I can honestly say I've never been referred to as any form of berry or related fruits. He's gone too far. Alright. Well, Graham, I didn't ask you about, but how's the quality on your end as far as video streaming? Because on my phone, it was not popping out too hot. This is where we suddenly realize this is way longer than this one. So we have to adjust. That's what paint's for. Ninja. Video and sound is aces. Beautiful. Glad to read. Glad to read. Like I said, later streams I will put in some background beats or something for this one, just so it'll makes it slightly easier for those later on, as far as ease of use. All right. Me sitting here going, I don't want to fill in all the colors. But you have no choice in the matter. Get it done. There we go. Breaking my own rule with doing the inks, because we're going to let this sit. What do you think? Should we be basic and go to a buggy on a Joker cover or something? I want a buggy. Do a buggy. What about the epic Deadpool with his foot going, there, look, you sickos! Yes, the buggy. Oda did confirm some things. I mean, he got his working snail phone, so I don't think he can... I mean, that's got to be a creator's dream right there, to be perfectly honest. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Monetizing and being able to pay your bills and, you know, never stress and just be able to tell your story for as long as humanly possible has got to be great. But they'll be like, yo, so someone made a literal working version of this thing that I've been trying to use as a plot device, you know. Why would I not use this? Yeah, right? It's like, it talks when you talk. Like, you know, we shouldn't be that impressed by that by still at this point, but it's like, it's still pretty freaking cool. Because it's like, it's puppetry that's like sound driven. Gosh. I forgot how much fun brush pens are. I've actually had all of my brush pens like packed up for like the last year and a half. Like there's just been like one or two there every once in a while. But it's like when you forget that certain ones of these are like filled out way more than the others, you're like, oh yeah. The City of Angels. Watch the live action. Yes. Nope, can't make me. Okay. Just trying to make you. Nobody tries to make nobody do mutton. City of Angels. City of Angels. I disagree myself. Always say that, disregard, but you're just missing out. So, I mean, I know this sounds weird, but it's like, at least from my perspective, like, yeah, watching One Piece in itself is incredibly slow. But it's not, in contrast, it doesn't have that overlord where you're like, yo, I'm just gonna screw it and do this. Like, it's the closest to like American comic books where it's like, yo, you got to read all of this and check out the redesigns and see how these characters time jump and yada 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 yada, right? Like, it's one of those ones where it's like, despite one writer creator on it, it's definitely had some finishing artists on top of whatever was going down shonen style, you know. I'm just prepping for a conversation about One Piece. One of us. Yeah, right? Oppositional defiance kicks in. We love One Piece. It's so good. I was like, you know what? Frankie's fun. I like Frankie. Frankie and Chopper. And I'm 50-50 on it, just about everybody else. Like, one of the things I will say about Oda is I appreciate that he's never let, like, having to control to a style conform his work. And it's created, like, let's be honest, like Robin and what's her name, I want to say Nami, they're not that cute, but the women who dresses them admittedly got some, there's an archetype that still goes with that, but it's like in the style itself, it's weird. Like, let's call it what it is. It ain't that pretty. You know, like Bulma back in the day was not cute. But it's like, as society evolves, even hardcore fans are like, yeah, I don't really review it until episode 325. It's a good story. Yeah. And I think it kind of stems back to something else too, where it's like, there's a lot of people that have this bond, because like even before Crunchyroll and stuff like that, you could get access to One Piece episodes a heck of a lot more. So like when you shove something, it's a lot like Spider-Man, actually. Like Spider-Man versus like a generic indie comic book. When it's shoved down your throat, you know that Spider-Man is Miles Morales or Peter Parker. You know? Like, you know who the characters are. Like, you don't even have to, you know, really try, because it's been in so many reiterations and incarnations at this point. Like, you know, you're like, oh yeah, that's blah, you know. That one's Miles. That one's, because it shows up in everyone's social contents, you know. So it's a whole other thing. It's a commentary for another day, I suppose. But yeah. On a side note, it's very interesting to see the direction that all the content creators are doing right now, because they're like, oh, well, Netflix isn't being striked against. And it's like, but isn't it? Because technically that means you wouldn't be able to talk about anything with Netflix either. Would you like it better if I was still her? Your mouth water. That I've ignored. They said it's time to fucking more. Live anymore. I get it, because I have it. someone says exit door and goes, nope, I'm out. But it's like, I think it's also a little bit going back to, yet again, it is the, once you learn how the sausage is made, suddenly you're less inclined to eat the sausage. Don't get me wrong, sausage is good. But for once in a while, you're just like, no, like, I don't think I've seen most of this last wave of MCU stuff. Like, I wanted to see Wakanda Forever, and I wanted to see Quantumania, and it's just, I got oversaturated with TikToks and YouTubes and everything else, just random clips and things, plugging these movies and plugging the controversy. And Black Adam had the same thing, and Shazam 2 had the same thing, and I was just like, I'm good. You know? And like Wakanda's Forever is still kind of up there, but it's like it didn't have the same kind of like cultural relevancy as previous films. You know, to me, like I was really excited to be like, cool, we get some representation for Latin culture a little bit, and I'm like, this could be good. Nah. It just turned into fighting. I'm like, oh, it's just blah 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 blah, and I was like, I hate that kind of advertising. So it's like trying to find those balances. But like most of this last wave of MCU, I don't think I've watched. So it's like it's very odd for me, especially given what I do. Like I can research, find out way more information way faster than watching that film. And I just don't have the desire to enjoy it in the same capacity either, which is kind of disappointing when you think about it. But it's like, what are you going to do? I have you to me as I am. I enjoyed Blue Beetle. I really do want to see Blue Beetle. I actually right before my computer crash stuff last week, I discovered, and I was very suspicious that maybe it was Tumblr related, why the hard drive crashed. But I discovered the original model sheets that I had saved through Tumblr from the original character designer when they redid that Hobie design, like the front, backs, and sides. And I was like, oh, this is gorgeous. Resave that sucker on the computer like you would not believe. Like, it's the very, like, we're still in that area of using mostly pencils and computers for digital coloring back then. It wasn't as easy. But it's just like, it's still impressive on many levels. All right, well, I'm going to sign this, and then we got to let this sucker sit overnight. Because I used the zebra pens, I got to let that soak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out this YouTube stream, and then I'm going to make myself some spinach noodles real quick with some bacon, and then I'm going to go live later tonight drawing Buggy over on One Piece, and I'm going to draw like probably the first version and the time jump. So, and then of course somebody will come in the chat. While I have both of you, just in case you are in, while we're there, I'm going to be trying to push the Discord for like seeing finished art and things like that, because that'll force them to subscribe over there a little bit more. But like as far as tools and things, be like, hey, we carry that over on the Discord, and then I post art practically every day on Discord. You know, whereas other social platforms, I kind of take my time. You know, and you get to see more of the behind the scenes and things like that. I'm really going to try and push that, because that way at least TikTok will be like, oh, he's doing more subscription stuff though. But I'm glad on the Blue Beetle side. It's still on my list, kind of like the new Ninja Turtles. I really want to go see it. I'm gonna go and try and go see it, but I gotta pay for medals and crap. So I'm like counting my pennies right now, because it's like $600 or $700 in metal between all the new pieces. So we'll see how it goes. But all right, so I gotta do a little stupid thing that I can do for the edits later. But here it's like, and here we are. Oh, let's try that again. Alrighty, I can do this. There's like a 3-second delay. Damn. All right, cool. All right, well, thank you guys for coming in over here. Like I said, I'm going to grab a quick little lunch dinner here, and then I will pop on probably, let's shoot for between 7 and 8 over on the TikTok. So appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Later. I'm gonna have to get my device again. I'm gonna have to get my quick remote to have the F key control so I can stop recording and stop streaming.